One. Hey guys, so upcoming is chapter 5-3. I would say this is the hardest chapter in the game for both players. The rooms are pretty long, and the boss at the end of this chapter, spoiler, it's Jill and Wesker, is relatively hard for the Sheva player, and getting both players actually to coordinate at that boss fight is pretty difficult. But inventory-wise, we're just going to be putting the rocket that we bought in the previous chapter into our inventory, and that's for both players as well. So we'll go on right ahead. Like a lot of the chapters, or a lot of the rooms in this chapter are very long and kind of loaded, so we'll try to explain them as best as I can. But you want Sheva to go on this ladder first because there's a machine gun pickup just before the dual action door up ahead.
Then let's go take care of business.
Yeah, so just a little bit of extra cushion on the ammo count, because Sheva definitely needs a decent amount of ammo for this part.
Come on.
At this point of the game, you generally want to be about full clip and about 150 to 200 ammo in your backpack. So.
Yep. So right here.
Can we explain it here? Actually?
Yeah, we should be able to explain it here. We didn't activate anybody, I don't think.
Okay, yeah.
So in this room, as Chris with the handgun and the grenade launcher, you have two jobs, and one of them is a tactical reset. The other is just kind of clearing the way for Sheva to get to a switch that's over at this door here that's on my cursor. So the first thing that you're going to do when you enter the room is you're going to wait for a couple of guys to come around this area here, and you're going to fire a quick shot rocket at them. Then there's going to be, I guess we're going to be checkpoint resetting. So then there's going to be a bug that spawns from here, and after you hit the rocket on the guys over in this section, this little L shape, you want to shoot the shoot this bug with a grenade launcher flash round. Then your main job is just going to be to shoot flash rounds on the bugs and try and delay them or take them out while you do the rest of the room. So we'll just go ahead and once we get to the second part, we'll be able to explain it. So.
All right. So there are 3 possible bug spawns you'll be able to see from my point of view as I run through. The first bug spawn coming up that is possible and generally does happen is this one right there to my right. It did not happen, so no bug right there.
Wow. Okay. There must be
So
more
this
enemy
bug,
spawns.
that means this bug will spawn. Go to the left, you should be fine. And generally, this bug right before the room will spawn. And this is a very dangerous bug because you want to be pressing the switch, but the bug is behind you the entire time with the 1 or 2.
As Chris, you should head straight to this lever right at the end so that you can oh shit. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that happens. Like when you can get caught in that room with that bug as Sheva, and it's really dangerous. So
yeah, that happens. Like nothing you can do about it. It depends on the enemy or the bug AI whether it decides to be really aggressive. So we could show it again. That's generally the worst bug. You gotta press the switch and swing all the way around it, but each time you reset, the bug spawns can be different, so we'll see if this bug decides to spawn. No, it does not.
okay. I think
So
that
generally means, yeah, this bug will spawn unclear.
Here, if you get this bug spawn here, you generally just want to stun it with a flash nade.
So the bug did not spawn for me this time, so you can grab this extra hand grenade in here. But that does mean it'll spawn on your way out, so...
And you want to stand at that lever just so the enemies will immediately spawn on it, by the way.
It did not spawn, so we only have 1 bug. 1 bug is probably the lucky 2 bugs. Oh, it spawned really late. Yeah. So while the Chris player is just stunning them, the Sheva player is going to wait for a call for the reset. You have to hit this platform to get the checkpoint. What often happens is that you might get knocked off by one of the big dudes, but you have to cross the threshold of the platform. You can't just have the platform docked there. So.
Yeah, and I should note this is kind of where the second pack of flash rounds comes in for the grenade launcher, is that if it's a really, really dicey room there, and you find yourself having to spend a lot of flash nades in order to survive it or to just delay the enemy so that you can set up the tactical reset with the checkpoint reset. You can just, if you're out of flash rounds by this point, you can just go ahead and just grab the flash rounds from your inventory. Fortunately, I have 4 here. You only need 2 at this point, ideally. Because this next set of enemies, there's 2 guaranteed plagas, and you can just take both of them out, ideally with 1 flash nade, and then you'll need 1 flash nade for the Jill and Wesker fight.
Okay, so movement here is a bit precise. Because it's a switch that carries one person across and the other person has to be on the elevator. The best way we have determined, we'll just show it, is at the reset, you're going to run forward, get on the platform. Chris will send it over. So during this time, you're going to want to try to get the plagas to spawn on the enemy. This is not one of them, but this guy's annoying. So this guy's is one of the plaga enemies. You generally want to try to get plaga to spawn. If you couldn't, that's unfortunate. Oh, we did. Send the platform back. And while it's going back, you want to get both plagas. So Chris got the other plaga for me. So you'll just chill here.
Oh, okay. There we go. And then I'm on.
Chris is on, and then you'll call it over.
So that took 2 rounds there, but like I said, ideally you can just hit these girders or these what is it? I don't think it's girders. That's a fucking, like, I don't know. This building here, you can hit these rails here in order to shoot your flash rounds onto them and kill the plagas.
You're gonna wait for Chris and then go through this bit. This guy could sometimes hit you, so you're gonna cap him in the knee. The rocket shouldn't hit you if you're both together. There's a treasure right here. Whoever's first will pick up this treasure and just we'll run on through. There should be a guy in here too, so you also want to cap him. Because sometimes he swings really early and hits the second player running through. And that is probably the hardest room in the game.
One of, yeah. Yeah. It's a really intense room. So definitely, like, watch that back. Make sure that, and again, as the Chris player, your big jobs are the checkpoint reset, that rocket launcher, and using the flash rounds. Don't want to, like, spam them out, stagger them out, so that you can get the enemies on the longest stun possible in order to just minimize the amount of aggro that you're dealing with in those rooms, because they're big and there's a lot of enemies.
At the end of the day, to make it really simple for people who think that room's kind of overbearing at first, just don't get grabbed by an insect. Reset once you get onto the platform, and it should be relatively simple. You might need to practice it at maybe 5 to 10 times when you're first running it. But it should be pretty easy. Nothing you can do about the bug spawn, and if you get grabbed by the bug, I mean, that's just unlucky. This next room coming up is pretty much, I would say it's a big auto-scroller.
Yeah.
So what happens is that we're going to be going on this giant lift, and there will be 2 stops in the middle where you will need to shoot the guys for the lift to reactivate again. And they're just precise places you need to be. But first, we're going to activate the lift, dual action. So for a visual cue, you're going to look, we're going to use this main computer right here. So for the first switch, you're going to want to go to this right thing right here, I don't know what it's called, and then go to the first generator, and then just chill out here. You're going to need to run to the end of the elevator to shoot the switch, but because there are guys just shooting at you, you don't want to be there in the beginning until a couple of rotations. Because if I just stood out here, they would be able to shoot me and I would take unnecessary damage. So you're going to want to shoot at a 45-degree angle.
And as far as Chris positioning goes, or whoever's not shooting these guys down, just stand to the left of the player that's doing all the shooting. Your main job here is to just switch your explosive rounds back into your grenade launcher, because you're going to use them to clear out some enemies at the top of a walkway.
So after the first one, you want to be aiming at the 45-degree angle to kill the guys who hop onto the switch. The second switch, you're going to want to hop back to the main computer, go to the left, whatever this is called, and then aim at a 45-degree angle from there. But this switch is going to be a little bit lower, so it should be the next one actually, right there. Yeah.
So now that you have your, go ahead.
And then generally after that, you just want to run to the inside so you don't take unnecessary damage from the bullets.
Yeah, so all the enemies that we're going to be shooting are going to spawn on this walkway up here. So you want to try and get all of them as they're spawning.
As the Sheva player, you can aim. Yeah, as a Sheva player, you can aim your cursor, and if it's red, that means enemies are still up.
Yeah, then you just want to spam your explosive rounds into them. And then switch your flash grenades back into your grenade launcher. Just because you'll need them anyway for the boss.
If there's only one enemy, as a Sheva player, you can spray and pray and kill him. If there are more than a couple, that's why we picked up an extra grenade. You could throw a grenade and get rid of them. Sometimes there'll be good drops here. Ammo, and I think it's worth picking it up if you need it, but like I said, your ammo count should be good on Sheva, about 100 at this point.
Yeah, Chris probably has about 40 to 50 at this point for the handgun, and 1 to 2 in the grenade launcher. So this room right here, this is the liquor room. The first thing that you want to do as Chris is you're just going to run up here and shoot down this treasure here. So, and then while Sheva's heading to activate the power for this lift here, you can, if you want to, just break open these couple of boxes. They might have some gold, some ammo in them. Just make sure that you're at this switch by the time that she activates hers, and then just pull it.
As Sheva, you're going to want to be in charge of both switches so Chris can do it. Before I press it, I'm just going to explain this a little. So as soon as Chris gets off onto this lift, there will be a bunch of lickers are going to come into the room. There will be 2 lickers right here. You could shoot at them if you want, just to stun them, just so they don't hit Chris. But on amateur, they don't really pose too much of a threat. I still shoot them regardless. From these holes on the side of this, I don't know, temple, lickers are going to start coming out. And what you need to do is shoot the first licker that comes out of both holes. And there'll be a cutscene to show that it's happening. So I will shoot this licker as Chris is running across. I will shoot this treasure, and then I will hit the right side, and then I will shoot a licker coming out of there. And that should give Chris enough time. He's going to have to push this crate all the way down. That should give him enough time for all the lickers to deal with it. Generally, at that time, though, Sheva, those 2 lickers that were here at initial spawn for Chris will jump down here, and you'll have to deal with them as Sheva, but that's why you have your grenades. If you don't have your grenades at this point, what you want to do is, because Chris is going to come out of this building, you want to lure the lickers as far away as you can. Because let's just say you lure them right here, Chris comes out right here, you're going to have to both deal with lickers. So as a Sheva player, you can either kill them, lure them to the entrance. When you see Chris, you both run out, cross the bridge, go to the next area. It's a lot to take in, but pretty much don't knock off the lickers for Chris and don't get killed.
Yeah, as Chris, it's basically some simple movement. And in order to maximize the dumpster here that you're pushing, I'll show that in a second here. So this is going to become a cutscene. Just run to the right here. Unfortunate that guy didn't get stunned, but you know, it is what it is. You just hug the right there, and then you should be good. So there's a point where once you hit the end of a railing here, or the end of this walkway, I should say. Once the bars end, you want to count to 3 pushes, and then you'll be able to immediately exit this area. So I'll show what that looks like in a second here. So we're gonna reach the end in a little bit. Come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then you can just jump right down. And then you want to run to the right here, pull this switch, skip the cutscene, and then unlock this door, and you want to just let Sheva know that you're coming out, and then you can both run to the next area here across the bridge. Since you're probably going to be a little bit ahead of Sheva, you can just pick up this brilliant topaz here.
Oh, this room.
This room right here. So the first thing, as Chris right here, you just want to run to the right in order to activate the door that will prompt Wesker to kick you through it and then follow you. Sheva is going to shoot a rocket at him, and when Wesker catches it, shoot the rocket so that it will force them to the next phase of the fight. If this doesn't happen, if the rocket misses Wesker for whatever reason, just reset the checkpoint and just go over to the door again. So,
as a Sheva player, you want to be in line with the door so you get the cleanest possible line. But also, as well, you want to aim at surprise, surprise, spoilers, Jill. It's just so she tries dodging you. Because if you don't aim at her, she'll shoot you and you might get stunned, and that throws off the whole cycle. So we'll just demonstrate it really quickly right here.
Yeah, here we go.
So I'm in line with the door. I will aim at Jill so she jumps out of the way and aim back at the door.
And you do have to investigate the door for this to happen. Then, oh. She shooting at you? Yeah, okay. So there's an example of like Jill actually shooting at Sheva. You generally want to try and aim at Sheva yourself. In order to prevent her from... I'm shooting... Oh, sorry, at Sheva. You want to... As Chris, you want to aim at Jill so that you won't shoot at Sheva.
It happens a rare instance. Generally, she won't shoot.
Yep. So, once the dialogue ends, investigate. Skip the cutscene. He just caught it. Shoot it. You're good. Come over to me real quick so we can heal. There we go. And then he'll run off. And this is the hardest part of the fight right here. So...
You could explain it.
I mean...
I was just kidding. I'll explain it. So...
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. Like...
As Sheva, what you're going to do, because you have the machine gun that has bloom on it, you're going to want to shoot Jill alternating between her knee and the electric piece on her chest 7 times. Or 6 times if you're really... in a pickle, but you'll have a longer animation if you only do 6 times. So, I mean...
Might as well just show it off, yep.
Well, let me just show you what happened. So, this movement is bad. Let me just show you how... You shoot her in the knee and you want to shoot her in the chest, but if you don't shoot her in the chest, you'll have an obvious, like, visual cue that, like, oh no, she's got blood coming out. And if you shoot her too many times, guess what? She dies.
Yeah, she's dead. Your only job as Chris in this fight is, while Sheva is setting up for the kill, you want to run down to the bottom of the stairway here, and then there's a treasure called the Heart of Africa. It's a white heart. You just once you go down the stair, take a right. It'll be right there. You pick that up. If the Sheva player hasn't picked up the green herb that's to the left of it, pick that up too, and just get out your grenade launcher with at least 1 flash round in it. And then after Sheva does the 7 reps of the alternations between the leg and the chest, and they should be counting, or they'll just let you know. They should just let you know. You'll fire a flash round in front of Jill's face, and then restrain her, and that will allow Sheva to immediately pull the chest piece off.
Alright, I'm gonna demonstrate a little more tech. You're gonna want to hesitate on the stairs as Sheva, because if you don't hesitate, what's gonna happen is Jill won't go to the middle of the room. So, like, for example, if I just ran straight down, Jill is going to actually just... Oh, well...
But she starts firing immediately, so, like... For the consistent movement, you want to make sure that you...
small step.
Yeah, you small step.
After the first shock, there's going to be a miniature cutscene. Don't press escape. Use that cutscene to adjust yourself into a position where you're comfortable shooting the electric vial or the electric chest piece. I would recommend close to her and to the left, because she turns to the left when she's like, in pain. So let me just show it to you really slowly, and then I can hopefully show it off like full speed. So hesitate there a moment. Go to the left. So cutscene right there. So you're gonna want to adjust to the left right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or yeah, hold on. Go for it. Sorry, 7 chest hits, not 7. Yeah.
We'll just go ahead and restart. Yep.
Yeah, so that's when you do it slow. So ideally, you just practice it, get really good at it, and hopefully it'll look something like this.
If we could remove that device on her chest, she might return to normal.
And during this cutscene here, as Chris, you can move still. So just go ahead and position yourself right behind her. Wait on the signal.
Whoa.
Ouch. See, and this does happen sometimes if you try to go too fast. So definitely
I knew
when
that
you're
was gonna happen as soon as I said, "Yeah, let me show you. Let me show it off."
yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, so definitely it's gonna be something that, as the Chris player, you've got a really easy job in this fight. So just remain patient with your co-op partner. This is definitely, I think, the hardest strat in the game next to nade skip, which you know you did back on 2-1. So cut him a break.
Chris player is gonna grab B and then spam F. What you see a lot of players do, instead of using the flash grenade, they'll throw Jill over and rip the device while she's off the ground. But you don't want to do that because the cutscene, there's a little animation where she's getting up before the whole fight ends. As opposed to if you just turn it off while she's standing, then it'll instantly end the cutscene. You're gonna press escape twice for the cutscene, and that's chapter 5-3.
Yeah, and I should note Chris's restrain QTE is always an F as well. So once you shoot the flash round right in front of her, just go up behind her and hit F or whatever QTE is on controller. So, but yeah, that's like probably the hardest boss fight in the game, I want to say.
And you want to do it as close to Sheva or close to Jill as much as you can, because the machine gun on Sheva has bloom, and I would aim at the lower part of the crystal for the bloom, but it comes down to what you're more comfortable with. Some people do it slower, some people do it faster. There's an alternate strat that's a lot slower that I don't quite agree with. I think it's a cop-out. I'm calling people out on that. So what'll happen is each cycle after I shoot her knee and chest, the Chris will have bought more flash rounds, and he'll shoot a flash after each cycle, like knee, chest, flash, knee, chest, flash. And this just guarantees that if the player missed the chest on the second piece, Jill is still stunned, because if you hit her body parts where you'll see blood, but you'll see that she moves back or falls down or does something weird. If you practice this enough, you should be able to adapt to that and just shoot her in the knee again. Just calm down, shoot her in the knee afterwards, shoot her in the chest. It requires practice. Ideally, even right now, I would say I get about 70 to 80% perfect chills. And unfortunately, or fortunately, none of the bad chills have happened while on good pace. So that is chapter 5-3. That requires the most practice as the shovel player.